I know that I'm not as strong as my ancestors. You know what I mean? I know I'm not as strong as the people who fought for me. Um, so I wouldn't even want to disrespect them and try and put myself in their shoes and think that I'd do any better or do the same thing.
Hello, Sanibonani, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Black History Month. It is the month of October. It is Black History Month in the UK. And I am having conversations with some of my favorite Black comedians in the UK because I want to find out about Black History Month. What does it mean to them? And also, what brought them here to the UK as Black people? And today we have one of the youngest. It's my daughter in comedy, Kyrah Gray.
Hello. Thanks for
How are
having me.
you?
I'm good. I'm excited, man. I'm good. How are you?
I am good, and thank you so much for agreeing to do this.
No, thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Lovely, and congratulations on everything you are achieving. It's like every week you're achieving something bigger.
No, thank
Well
you.
done.
It's going well. It's going well. God's grace. God's grace.
When I think of what I was doing at your age, I'm super proud of you. You are you're doing well, and also you keep it professional.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying. I'm trying my hardest, man. I'm trying. I appreciate it.
And welcome to Black History Month. What does Black History Month mean to you?
I mean, it means everything, really. I feel like a lot of what this country is, it's been built off of the back of Black people, you know? And I think growing up, we always get taught the negative connotations to Black history. We never really get taught the positive things, you know, and all the things that we've contributed to this country and to society in general. So I think it's really important that Black people center themselves for at least a month and actually take pride and understand how much they've contributed, how much they mean to the world, how much they've done. You know, I feel like Black people are amazing and we've done so much. So it's good to celebrate. We need to celebrate, man. When the world is always trying to put us down, it's needed. It's needed.
And how do you celebrate Black History Month?
By doing shows and taking the white people their money. Yeah, that's how I celebrate. That's how I celebrate. Yeah, that's how I'm celebrated. I just watching my favorite films, man. Celebrating my favorite Black creatives. It's just I feel like there isn't much that I do that's a difference between my day-to-day life and when it is Black History Month. I always try to celebrate the Black people around me and the Black people that have come before me anyway. So this is just another opportunity to do that, really.
So you don't wait for 1 month to celebrate. You're like, I'm Black 12 months a year. I'm going to celebrate it 12 months a year. I'm not going to go off and forget for the 11 months of the year. And then comes October, I remember.
No, I don't wait for the 1 month, guys. The last month of September, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm always celebrating. I'm always trying to remember. So it's an all year round thing for me, to be honest.
And you were born and raised in the UK.
Yes, I was.
What's that like?
Um,
Do you feel more English, more British?
um,
Does it?
I mean, essentially, yeah. Just because I've been raised here, I've been here my whole life. Do you know what I mean? And even though
Yes.
my family are Jamaican, and they never let me forget where they've come from, and they always make sure I have that culture around me. Essentially, I've grown up and I've been raised in this country. So if I go to Jamaica, I'm still a foreigner. Yeah, they'll still call me foreigner. I'm foreign, you know. So I'm not. I'm aware of my place and I know who I am, you know. But it doesn't stop me from like paying homage and respecting and loving the culture that my family do come from, and just it's still a part of my identity. Do you know what I mean?
And what's your family background? Because I've published some of the videos that I've done with some of the comedians, and some of my people in South Africa were shocked that there are Black people who were born here. Like, for some of them are much older than you even. And like, we thought Black people just started going to the UK now to visit. We are not taught Black history.
No, it's so funny because I feel like social media is just it's exposed the rest of the world to the fact that there are a lot of Black people here. We've actually been here for years. You know what I mean? For generations. Um, but yeah, so I was born here. It's just I don't know. I think it's always funny hearing people from other countries, and especially I know for a long time Americans didn't even think that we had black people in this country. They, it's so strange. So yeah, it's so funny.
And what's your family background? Who came here? When?
Yeah, so my family are Jamaican. It's my grandparents that came over here. So both, all my grandparents were born in Jamaica, and they all came over here. They all came over here pretty, like relatively young as well. I know my grandma was 18, so my mum's mum was 18 when she came over here. Um, so she's been here for most of her life. Never lost the accent though. And then a lot of my uncles and aunties, like she sent them back to get raised there for a period of time, just so that they could, still be involved with their culture and know their family back home. But they also have spent majority of their lives over here. Um, and pretty much the same with my dad's parents. So they came over here relatively young, and they've been here, but they still travel over quite frequently, visit family and stuff. Um, so yeah, it's pretty symmetrical on both sides, really.
And do you ever go to visit Jamaica?
Yeah, not as much as I'd love to. It's really expensive, man. It's really expensive, and because I haven't, because my grandma specifically has been over here for so long, I don't know my family over there like that. Um, so we took her back when I would think I was like 18, and we took her back, and that was the first time she'd been back in decades. So it was a really lovely experience, and she got to see her brother, like before he passed away, unfortunately, very recently. So it was nice that she kind of just got to see her family again, and she wanted to visit where her parents were buried, but we just couldn't make it up the mountain because I don't know if you probably haven't been to like St Andrews, but in Jamaica there's like mountains and there's no barriers, and obviously the higher you get up the mountain, you're just on the cliff edge, like you're literally just looking at your death, right? So we just couldn't make up the mountain, but the sentiment was there and it was lovely. So I'm hoping that as I get older and obviously as the money increases, I'll definitely make it a mission to go over there every
Mm.
year and just spend a substantial amount of time.
Oh, that's so heartwarming. Not going home for 2 years can be so difficult. So to not go for so many years. And also they grew up in the times of no social media. Because now we sort of know what people are up to. That's really nice that you guys took her back. And when it comes to the accent, we do not lose the accent. The people who lose the accent are just faking it.
No, the accent does not go anywhere. None of my family. I feel like people that have the accent, they've tried really hard to lose the accent. Like they've made it a mission to lose it. I think it's really difficult. My grandma's been here for like 60 years, almost 50 something, 60 years, and her accent is strong as ever. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
You have to act it out to lose the accent. I think once you come here, I think maybe after the age of 16, it's too late. But I know people who try, but they sound funny sometimes because you can tell this is fake. And what I always like is that people will come here for 2 weeks and have lost the accent, but they go to India for 7 years to study medicine. They do not come back with an Indian accent.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like people, I don't know, I feel like when people come to like England or America, they try their hardest to kind of blend in because they don't want to seem like an outsider. They don't want to seem like a foreigner. So they try their hardest to kind of like blend in with everyone else. But the harder you try, your accent just ends up sounding like a very strange combination.
It
Yeah.
ends up being worse.
Yeah. It's so much worse. Stick with the accent, man. Just keep it. Just keep it.
Keep the accent. Keep it. You said you don't have any family photos.
Do you like, because do you know what it is? A lot of my like, especially the ones where I was growing up and stuff, they're physical pictures. People don't really do that anymore, but
Oh, okay, yeah.
phone. So like all the stuff with like my grandma, my godparents, and like my cousins, and us just in the house and playing. A lot of those are physical pictures that are in photo albums that my mum has hidden somewhere. Not hidden, but they're just I don't
But
know where.
now you have a duty to find them.
Yeah, yeah,
Ask your
yeah,
mom when you have time and put them on your phone because there are apps now where you can make them digital because
yeah,
they're so much easier to save for your grandchildren.
yeah. No, I know, and yeah. My mum will send me the odd picture every now and then just to kind of, oh, like, do you remember this? Obviously not, I was 5, but like she will send them over to me. So I need to look at that photo album again. I haven't done it in years, so I will find it.
And what made you do comedy?
So it's so strange because I feel like what growing up I always used to watch stand up with my mum. But it was never something that I really computed in my head that I could do. Like I just always assumed that I could never do that. Like, that's just way too hard. That's just way out of my comfort zone. And then it wasn't until I went to university and I studied drama. I had a module in stand up comedy, so I kind of had to do it. And once I did it, my lecturer was just like, "This comes so naturally to you. Yeah, like you definitely need to do this professionally." So once I left uni, I started doing it. Started doing the odd gig here and there, and now we're here. But it's always been more of a I was always the class clown. It's just always been my thing. I just enjoy making people laugh. I enjoy making people smile. I just if I was ever in trouble, I'd always try to laugh my way out of it or joke my way out of it. So it's always been there. I guess it's just it wasn't until uni where I was kind of able to use it and get a good grade. So yeah,
Oh, nice. And how has comedy been treating you?
comedy's been treating me well. I feel like comedy's been treating me well. I feel like my journey in comedy so far has been a rapid one, um, and it's been very busy. It's tiring, but I'm so grateful. I feel like I've been given some amazing opportunities, and we can only keep going from here. We can only keep going up. So I thank God, man. I feel like God has had a part to play in every decision that I've made so far.
And it's made you travel the world as well,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
many people can say that they get paid to travel.
exactly. Getting paid to travel and tell jokes. It's a blessing, man. It's such a blessing.
It is. It is. I know a lot of comedians do comedy, but they always have something else on the side.
Yeah,
Are you just a comedian?
yeah. So I do comedy full time.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So
Because
it's what was you
because
gonna
I
say?
was shocked that there are people who do like comedy full time and then something else full time. It's like, where do you get the time? I wouldn't have the time.
Yeah, this is the thing. I feel like at the moment, the way since like January, it's been very like full on. So I don't even have the time to breathe, and see friends, see family, barely to sleep. So I had to stop doing my part time job because it didn't health wise I couldn't keep up with doing both of them. So
But
yeah.
that's good because being busy in comedy is a good thing.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
what you want. You want to be busy. I asked some of our viewers
Hmm.
to send us some questions for you, things they want to know from you.
Oh.
And it's not like a school exam, so it's not that difficult. But yeah, so there are some questions here. Okay, I've asked this one already. How do you celebrate Black History Month?
Hmm.
Who is your favorite historical Black figure?
I feel like it's usually it's an obvious answer to say like Rosa Parks or something, but there's something iconic about just not getting up. I don't know, man. There's something about like I'm tired, man. You move. I'm sitting here. I'm not going nowhere. Like, what do you mean? And I feel like she was always one of the main people that we always taught about. So I think historically speaking, Rosa Parks has always kind of been up there. If we're allowed to be a bit more current, Michael Jackson is one of the. I was obsessed with Michael Jackson. I think he's the greatest entertainer person, just entity that has ever been blessed on this earth. So yeah, Michael Jackson as well, if we're allowed to.
Are schools doing enough to teach about Black history?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I feel like when I was in school, was it was mainly just slavery. Like October was just a month where we'd learn about slavery and we'd learn about the people that freed the slaves and the conditions of the slaves. I remember like there was one history lesson we had to do of freeze frames being slaves in a slave ship. You know, like it was nuts. So and it's not until leaving school and just doing some research for myself that you realize that Black history is so much more than the pain that our ancestors went through. We were here before slavery, you know, like the Moors were around. People, we taught you seasons. We taught you how to clean yourselves. Do you know what I mean? We brought so much. And I feel like schools should be doing more to educate not just the Black students, but everyone and showing that slavery wasn't the beginning of Black history. We weren't just like created in a lab to be slaves. We were somewhere before this. So yeah, I don't think they're doing enough at all.
And also, during slavery, there were Black people who were free and doing amazing things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Like
like every other Black person in every corner of the world stopped existing when slavery started. We still had kingdoms. We
yeah,
still had people achieving amazing things. But
exactly.
it's just that part they like to concentrate on.
Yeah, because it keeps. I think it just keeps black people in a certain mentality. Like if you keep teaching black people about slavery and you keep showing them trauma, like subconsciously it kind of just keeps you in that place. Do you know what I mean? It it like I don't know. It does something to you mentally, where you kind of it just keeps
Mm.
you in a certain like trapped mindset, and it's something weird. I don't know. It's something really
And
really.
even when they teach about slavery, it's the same thing in South Africa when they teach about apartheid. They like to focus on the people who helped us, who freed us, so
Yeah,
that we look at them as heroes, as people, but they never say they didn't return anything that they stole.
yeah, exactly. They don't teach you the things that you kind of need to know. They teach you the things that kind of adhere to the narrative that they're trying to push, you know. And I just think they're trying to keep black people in a certain just in a
I
certain
think
mind.
we should write more books.
Yeah,
We should interview our elders so that we know their stories from them,
yeah,
because we don't write our stories as Black people, and that's the main thing.
yeah,
Our stories are always told by people who are not us.
yeah. There are loads of books written by black people though. It's just the ones that they don't focus on them, you know. So I think it's difficult, but we can't rely on like the education system to teach us about our history. You kind of have to do that work for yourself, you know. You have to go out and search for it. And that's why I think it's so important that there's so many authors now that are creating like children's books, and they're teaching kids not about slavery but just about black people and just about our culture, and you know just teaching little black kids to love themselves. Like, and it's so important to like encrypt those narratives into children from a young age so that they don't grow up and just think that black history is just one thing. You know, it's so much more than that.
That is so true. And that is so true and so important. Who's your most inspirational Black Briton, dead or alive?
I don't know if I have one answer for that. I feel like any black creative that has kind of made their way into the mainstream and created a way for everyone that's kind of come after them is is inspirational to me. I feel like everyone is has played their part, and I feel like every time a generation comes up, there's more and more people being allowed in, and that in itself is a statement. So I feel like every single person that's come before me is an inspiration for me personally. I don't think I have one name.
If you had lived during the times of Rosa Parks, would you have been brave enough to do what she did?
To sit down. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I'd like to think that I would. I really would like to think that I would, but knowing who I am as a person, I'm not confrontational, but I'm not confrontational until I'm disrespected. So I like to think that in my mind I'd be like, no, I'm sitting here. There's other seats, but I know that I'm not as strong as my ancestors. You know what I mean? I know I'm not as strong as the people who fought for me. Um, so I wouldn't even want to disrespect them and try and put myself in their shoes and think that I'd do any better or do the same thing. I don't know. I'm honestly not sure.
When was it? Last week we were talking about with my friends, because people like to say, I am my ancestors' wildest dream. I am doing
Yeah,
things my ancestors would not have done. But the thing is, we are not as strong as them.
at all, at all.
We are
I,
here because of them.
yeah, and I feel like people forget that, and you know,
We
people can
get
make
the opportunities because of them.
yeah because of the struggles they faced. And I feel like even the struggles that we face now are hard, and we're not having to face certain things because they already had to go through it, you know. And I feel like
Yeah.
it's so easy for people to sit whilst comfortable and say that, oh, if that was me, I would have done this and I would have done that. You think that because of the world that you grew up in now, you know, the freedom that you have now. They didn't have that freedom. They didn't have that
Mm.
level of respect that you feel like you now have with the people around you. So I feel like I'll never disrespect the people that came before me, man.
And
It's so
also, history writes about just the one that fought and got written about.
yeah,
But there would have been thousands
yeah,
that
exactly.
didn't. to like mainstream news. There would have been many that also died fighting for it.
Exactly. Exactly.
We do have the strongest ancestors. One lie you were told about Africa.
Growing up, probably just that there was just wild animals everywhere. That was probably just one thing that I was just, because as kids, everyone's just ignorant. So like, that's kind of just, I think that's the main thing, that there were just lions and giraffes and that just walking around, like just childish. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Africa?
No, never. I really want to. Really, really want to.
I
Even,
hope you get to go.
yeah, I really did want to. My friend's getting married in January. I was meant to go Ghana, but I can't go anymore. I'm so upset.
Oh,
But it,
because of work.
hmm?
Because of work, you can't go.
Yeah, because of work, just because of, yeah, it's a lot,
Can
man.
they postpone the wedding?
Do you know what I mean? That would be great. That would be fantastic. You know, if we could just push the wedding back a couple of weeks, that'd be great. I can make it down, man.
Or they can just get married on a Wednesday.
Yeah,
So
or just
I'm sure
Skype.
you can cancel a Wednesday gig.
Yeah, or just I just need someone to put it on Zoom, and I can just put up my lights really bright in my room and just pretend that
To
I'm
be
in.
there.
You know, I can just
Dress
pretend I'm
up.
over there. Yeah, let's just see.
And we need to get people to do that. My cousin is also getting married end of October, and I won't be able to go because of work. And I was telling them, you need to learn to show good things as well, because when it's a funeral, you always live stream it. Why don't you live stream weddings?
Why aren't we live streaming the weddings? What a question! What a great question.
Funerals are all there, live streamed for everyone to see. Let us put money into live streaming weddings as well.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm trying to see the wedding. I'm trying to see the I
Yep.
do, I'm trying to see the first dance. I want to see all of it.
Yep. Black weddings matter, so we need them live streamed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let them know.
One thing you wish you were taught in school.
Taxes. I have to do my taxes. Honestly, that was a wake up call. That was a lot, man. And I wish we were taught, why is my hair looking like that? Sorry. I wish we were taught about like just mortgages and stuff. Just things that really do matter. Because I mean, hey, I use algebra every day. So, you know, I'm not saying that stuff's not relevant, but it would be nice if like they actually prepared us for life as well. That would be really fantastic.
But then if you know how to save your money, how to get a mortgage at the right age, earlier on in your career, then you would affect who's rich, because the rich will not be getting richer. They need us to mess up when it comes to our finances, so they keep making money out of us.
It's true. It's true. It's very true.
Because the more you mess up your credit score, the higher your interest rates are going to be when you take a loan or on your credit card. So they need us to mess up.
Yeah. It's all part of the plan. It's actually all part of the
So
plan.
what we need to do is, like you were saying with African history, we need to be teaching those who come after us.
Yeah, I do think maybe you have to teach it in the family because I mean the rich families, it's stuff that they pass down to their kids. Their kids know how to do certain things from young, so it's just certain things that we also have to take on and put onto our kids. So yeah.
Growing up in the UK, did you ever feel that you were misplaced, that you were in the wrong place, or has it always felt like home to you?
I don't think I ever necessarily felt like I was in the wrong place. I think especially because my mum was born here as well and so was my dad. So it's not like um I feel like it's a lot harder for first generation immigrants in this like in the Western country. I think it's a lot harder for you to adapt. But where my mum and my dad are British as well, I think I've always just kind of adapted to British life. It's kind of always it's been what I've known. Of course, you have the ignorant people and you have the stupid comments and stuff like that. But it's never made me it's never made me feel out of place. You know, I've always just been able to point out that this person's just ignorant. This country is just full of ignorant people. It's just you'll never make me feel like I don't belong.
In your family, it's easier with your grandmother because she would have been raised in Jamaica. So when she came here, she probably still held some Jamaican values, even in her household, in how she raised your mom.
Yeah,
But your
yeah,
mom because she was now British.
Mm-hmm.
Was she raising you in a household that was had more Jamaican influence or British influence, or was it well balanced?
I'd say it was heavily Jamaican influence because my grandma was pretty much like my grandma was is still my grandma's not my best friend, so she's been heavily involved in raising me. So for the first 5 years of my life, my grandma basically didn't even let my mum take me anywhere. Like we had a house, but I practically lived with my grandma with my mum, which is always there. So like she took me to church from 6 months old. So she's always just implemented certain things in me. Uh, the discipline was the same. The way we eat is the same. The way she punished us was the same. I probably got away with a lot more stuff than like my boy cousins did, but I'd say that my grandma had such an influence in my like in raising me that it was very much based on how she was raised in Jamaica. Probably not as aggressive, because I think she definitely lightened up. I think people just lighten up as they get older. So my grandma used to spoil me absolutely. Um, I'm her favorite grandchild.
Did you ever have to threaten your mom with social services?
Yeah, I did actually. I told her I'd call Childline on her one time, and she just gave me the phone. So that didn't really work out. So I never did it again. It's pretty helpless at that point. It's pretty pointless. It's
The
not
point.
gonna go. Yeah.
What's the point when she doesn't care? Like, yeah, call them, use my phone.
Yeah, here you go. Here you go. So yeah, no, that didn't work.
A lot of you kids, yeah, you like that line.
Yeah, but it doesn't work anymore. I don't think it works anymore, especially because now everyone's adhering to like soft parenting. So the kids don't really have a need to like threaten to call like social services and stuff. So yeah,
I know a few that have been returned to Africa, sent to African boarding school because of that line alone.
I had a few friends who got threatened with that, but there aren't many people that I know that actually got sent back. But I know it's a thing. Like I know it's a thing. Even a couple Caribbean people like act up and you're going back to Barbados, back to Jamaica, back home. Yeah, so that makes them fix up very quick, very 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 quick.
Questions. This part of the show is called "You Know You Are African When." I know you're not African, you have a Caribbean background, but
Hmm.
I want to share and see if we have any similarities in our households.
Okay.
You know you're African when. I think we should call it "You Know You Are Black When" because it's
Yeah.
Black History Month. It's not African History Month. So you know you are black when everyone older than you is auntie or uncle.
Yeah, pretty much. Like there are definitely some of my mum's friends that I just used to call auntie, just because you're there. You're my mum's friend, auntie, your uncle. Their kids were cousin. You know.
If I'm older than you have to call me aunt. In fact, you should be calling me auntie, but please don't. I don't want to
Yeah.
be called auntie on stage.
Yeah. No, don't. I don't want anyone to call me. Apart from my actual nephews, don't call me auntie. Do not call me auntie.
And you go to nightclubs and then you find your friends' children, then they're calling you auntie. Oh,
Oh, what a nightmare! Oh no! Oh
I just
no!
I just lie and say, oh, my name is Antigua. That's why they call me auntie, just short for my name.
That's smart. That's very smart.
But that's when you know that you should stop going to nightclubs. But because I am the way I am, I still want to go.
No, go and enjoy yourself, man. I just can't deal with clubs anymore. I don't like how close everyone gets, and I don't like people in my face. I don't like people whispering in my ear. I don't like people grabbing me. I don't like it. I get overwhelmed.
VIP,
Huh?
VIP, sit and watch people doing these things.
I don't know. It's just I don't. I prefer. I think that's why I prefer a day party. I prefer a brunch and a bit a good old bit of day drinking, so that I can get drunk, be in bed by 10. Right as rain the next day.
You are too young for that.
No, I just feel like it's the perfect time for me to implement it. I just maybe I'll go clubbing abroad, but the UK, I can't. I can't. I really can't.
I'll take you to some nice clubs and convert you.
Oh please, yeah, do.
The couches in your house were once covered in plastic. Could be your house, could be your grandmother's house, could be any of your relatives. Do you remember this period?
Yeah, I do actually think there was a point where one of my grandma's sofas was covered in plastic, and I never understood why. And one of my godparents as well.
It was a big fashion back then. Because
Yeah.
also people to what we call it Pam, what do you call it here, jerry curls.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So when they sat on your sofas or your couches, they would leave the gel.
Oh, okay. I just thought it was to like just protect the condition of the actual sofa, so like, it just always looked new. But
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable to sit on, man.
And then lean on your new sofas with their, the gel was so bad as well that we would put
Oh,
and leaving stains.
oh no.
So the
Yeah.
most uncomfortable, and then in South Africa it's very hot as well, and you have to sit
Okay.
on plastic.
Yeah.
You can't go a week without a rice dish.
Yeah. Impossible. Absolutely impossible.
Can you even cook?
Of course I can cook. Of course I
Yeah.
can cook.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
My go-to is always curry chicken and rice. I think it's the most simple. I think it's the easiest thing to cook.
Can you make rice and peas?
I can, but just not as good as my mum yet.
Mm.
I need to.
Rice and peas and curried goat.
Yeah.
When I come from, we do
Like,
not make curry with the goat because a goat is it's a sacred animal. We only slaughter it for ancestors, so we do it for
wow.
purposes. So we only cook it a certain way, and you can't go like to the butchery or to a supermarket and buy a goat meat. You have
That's
to buy the
crazy.
whole, take it home, talk to it, appease your ancestors, and then you kill it. And then you
Oh,
have to invite the whole neighborhood to come and eat it with you.
oh wow.
So when I first saw that people were eating carrot goat, it took me a while to start eating it because I've always associated it with uh, something that people do for appeasing their ancestors.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Oh my gosh. I had no idea. Like not eating red meat. So I stopped eating red meat properly at the beginning of this year, and curry goat is the one thing. Curry goat and oxtail are the things really I miss it so much. So much.
Oh, and
Heartbreak.
also when you think how cheap it used to be, but now that they know how well we cook it, it becomes so expensive.
Yeah, yeah. Raise the price of everything. Even plantain's expensive now. Used to be
Mm,
able to buy four for a pound or something. Now it's like £1.50, £2. They're taking the absolute mick.
yep. But everything has gone up. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's so difficult to buy the food that we want to buy.
yeah. I do actually do that sometimes. But my grandparents used to do it the most. Yeah, like if they didn't want to point and be bait, if they're talking about someone, so like the person behind you. That's so funny. Yeah,
It's totally okay to show up at a relative's or friend's house unannounced and expect to be fed.
certain family members and certain friends, yeah. But so if it's my grandma's house or my auntie's house, yeah, absolutely. I rock up and I expect a meal and I expect a warm welcome.
And they're actually happy when you come unannounced.
Yeah,
At
my
home, like we're always ready. Even when we cook, our thing is you do not finish the food in the pot in case someone rocks up.
yeah, absolutely. And my grandma gets upset if I don't eat. She gets so upset, fuming, livid. I have to eat, and I have to eat a big portion.
No, this one's not going to be relevant to you. Do you have a Jamaican accent?
Yeah, I do, but like it doesn't. When I'm around, I don't speak in a Jamaican accent. When I'm around other Jamaicans, it might come out in certain things that I say.
Hmm.
Like there's the odd phrase or the odd word or the odd thing that I might say, or if I'm a bit annoyed, or you know, there's just certain phrases that I might say, but I don't just start speaking in a Jamaican accent just because I'm around Jamaican people just off the bat.
Do they ever laugh at your Jamaican accent?
No, no, they don't laugh. I feel like I feel like my accent's solid. It's actually quite solid, and I think it's mostly just because I've grown up around my grandparents, so it's just me emulating them really. Them really.
Give me a sample. Give me a line.
Oh God. Um. So if you say I can't do it, it's just me can't do it, man. Me can't do it. I say that a lot. I say that a
I've
lot.
always found it so interesting. It's so nice.
It is
I,
a
I,
nice
I,
accent.
it's, and in South Africa, we are boring because we don't even have pidgin English.
How do you know?
No,
But you
we
have an
don't.
actual language there. It's probably better.
But it is good to have an actual language. But the problem is, you can only speak it to people who understand the language.
Yeah.
Whereas with patois, you can speak it to me, even though I can't speak back to you, but I can understand what you're saying. Same
Yeah.
thing with you can
Yeah.
listen to Nigerians and know what they're talking about.
Yeah. You'd get the odd word, and you can kind of just guess what they're trying to get. There's even some level. There's some god levels of patois that I can't understand sometimes. So, but yeah, it's a lot easier. I'll admit that.
And then we got naughty and visited your Instagram.
Oh God.
And we'd love for you to tell us what was happening in these photos. And I was disappointed with your Instagram.
Why were you disappointed?
Because for you are too professional. I wanted to find things that can incriminate you, things that can.
No, I can't post things that will incriminate me.
Yeah,
Trying
you
to
don't put anything private. You don't put anything.
nothing that will catch me out. Nothing that anyone could use against me.
Those are the things I was looking for. And this
Nah,
girl's.
no,
Oh,
you can't do it. You can't.
what was happening here?
I had just performed at the O2 in December. What a great moment. What a fantastic moment.
And that also is one of the biggest venues where you can perform, especially in the UK. Is
Yeah.
it 20,000 seater?
So it was 18,000 seats, but
Mm.
it's a 20,000 capacity venue. So like standing, but because everyone was sat down, it was 18,000, which is nuts. Absolutely insane. So yeah, crazy. I still can't really believe I did it, but yeah, what a great,
How
what
did
a
it?
great. How did it feel? It was wild because I think backstage I wasn't really taking it in. Like I was just standing there and I was kind of just waiting for Eddie to say my name, and then it was just you go out there, it's just so strange because you can't really see anyone, you can't really hear anyone, so like you kind of just have to tell yourself, oh, they're probably laughing now. Let me wait 3 seconds and start the next line. So it's really like there's a lot mentally that's going on because you can't speak too fast, you can't speak too slow, you have to keep a good pace. So, but God's grace, man, it went really well, and it was an amazing experience. So yeah, so great.
Planning to go back there?
Oh, but hopefully, absolutely, I would absolutely do that again, 100%. What a time! What a
Yeah, that
time!
O2 is, yeah, that
So
is.
how did you find it?
I love it.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's strange because it's not obviously not that the most ideal comedy venue, but just something to say that you've done and you've accomplished and you've achieved it, which is amazing.
And there's something about the adrenaline that you get when you're there that is
Yeah,
different from any other venue.
absolutely.
What was happening here?
That was the same. It was down to the O2, and we were all just taking pictures on the stage because we were just like, can't believe I did that. Cannot believe I just did that. Um, so it was just a really nice moment. Yeah, it was a really nice moment.
And that's when you know that comedy is for you, when you get such opportunities.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it was even the way that I got that gig. Everything it happened so organically. So it just yeah, that's when I think I was like, yeah, God's doing something.
You didn't have to try hard to get the gig.
I feel like I definitely had to work hard, but it was like I wasn't performing to do that gig. Like I wasn't. I wasn't performing to prove anything to anyone. I was just I was doing a blackout show, so I was just trying to win that competition. But through doing that, God blessed me with other things. So I've always I don't know. I think it's one thing I've always been quite good at is just not comparing my journey to anybody else's.
And it's
Um,
very important not to, because people will tell you it takes you 20 years to get to this point, and for
yeah,
some people it can be 3 days. Because
yeah,
sometimes it's being at the right place at the right time and doing the right thing. Because you
yeah,
can be at the right place, but if you are not doing the right thing, if you are not ready, and some people are just ready from the beginning.
yeah. Definitely. I think everyone's just got a different journey. Everyone's got a different time span, and God has a different plan for everyone. So I feel like once you start getting focused on what other people are doing and why you haven't got this and why this person has this, I feel like you start to lose focus on what God is actually doing in your life and what He's doing for you. So I think I've always just been quite focused and all right, I'm gonna do this. Just and hopefully, if I do this, then I can do this. And by this time, I'm gonna be able to do this. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna be able to do this. So I feel like it's just really important to stay focused on the things that you're trying to achieve and just not really get blindsided or distracted by what anyone else is saying or what anyone else wants to do. It's just
When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So you must always stay ready,
exactly.
always working. And I always say it doesn't matter how much I'm getting paid for a gig,
Hmm.
I will respect them equally, because you
Hmm.
just never know who's watching. You never know. Every gig is your next audition for your next gig.
Exactly. You never know. Could be at any moment. Some of the opportunities that I've gotten have been from the gigs that I just you wouldn't even pay that much attention to. So
If you listen to people, they'll tell you, "Oh, don't do a blackout. Nobody wins it." Just because they did it 20 years ago, didn't win it.
it's crazy because and even do you know what it is with the blackout show? I've done the blackout show like 3 or 4 times and I've won each one. So each time I was going back, it was just to prove to myself that I could do it with a different set, that I could still do it with a different audience, that it wasn't just that night, you know. So it wasn't. I knew why I was doing it. It was kind of for me, and it was also to so that I could get a spot at Up the Creek, so I could get like a weekend spot. So I feel like whenever you're working towards something, God will always give you a greater blessing. Do you know what I mean? At the end of it, so yeah, I don't really listen to people too much, and unless yeah, I feel like people always have their own opinions, and people are always going to tell you what they think is best, but ultimately you kind of just have to listen to your gut and listen to what God's telling you, and just have to go with it. You know?
I remember when I the comedy blackouts, I did a spot there, and
Hmm.
some comments that I look up to that have been here, and they've got their own journeys, but they were trying to stop me from doing it. They're like, and then that's when I learned sometimes you don't have to share what you want to do, just do it.
Yeah, I'm a big advocate for that. I'm a
Because
big
I failed at it, I will, and it was coming out of love. It's not like they were saying it from a bad place,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it was coming out of love. They didn't want me to go through the hurts that they went through when they couldn't last more than a minute.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
went, and number one, I won it, but I also enjoyed it, even if I hadn't won it. And for me, it's
yeah.
better than those open mic and bringer shows.
Yeah, 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 of course.
For an actual audience, and you have actual professionals in the room watching.
Yeah. And you know that your stuff is good at a blackout show. You know, I feel like people have definitely had bad experiences at black,
Mm.
but I
And
think
I got a few gigs out of it as well.
exactly. I feel like a blackout show just it improves your confidence so much, and I feel like once you get through it, you know that you can perform to a certain kind of crowd. You know that you can deal with a certain kind of heckle. You know that you can deal with like a high anxiety inducing performance. I feel like you learn a lot from it. And especially when you're in such a long lineup of like 15 comics, if you can keep an audience's attention for that
You
amount of
never know what spots you're gonna get. You could be
exactly,
number 15. You could be number one.
exactly. I've done one where I was like second to last, and I was like, oh my goodness, what a day.
After so many comedians, audience is tired. And if they were all rubbish comedians, the audience is mentally giving up on this gig ever being funny.
Yeah, there's it's just there's so much working against you, but like Yeah.
But well done on that. Well done on that. And
Thank
definitely
you.
doing the O2 is something big. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What was happening here?
I was doing support for Axel Blake on his tour just after he won Britain's Got Talent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And how was that?
That was nice. It was nice. It was nice. I think it's always challenging doing support shows just because obviously the audience are coming for a specific person and your job is to warm them up and get them ready for the other person to come and perform. So there's always a bit of pressure there, but I think it's always good because I feel like once you do good at a support gig, you know that you can kind of perform to anyone and anywhere. So it was a really good experience, man. And Axel's a good friend, so it was really nice.
And it's nice when you're supporting someone who's nice as well.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I feel like I've been
And
quite lucky.
you know they want you to do well.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely helps.
And it's the best experience you can get for when you do your own tour.
Definitely.
Because you get to see the behind the scenes, you get to see uh yeah. When should we be expecting your tour?
Oh, well, by God's grace, very soon. We'll see. I'm still writing at the moment, so hopefully, I'm hoping by the end of next year, I'll be in a place where I'll be ready to. So, yeah.
If you are looking for support, holla.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I think I'd want to like just get different supports for different dates, like if I
Mm.
ever, yeah, like when I do get to that point. So yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely.
And what was happening here?
My graduation day.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Do you think it helped you in any way to go to university, or do you feel like you wasted time? You should have just gone straight to do comedy.
No, I don't think I wasted time at all because I didn't realize that I was good at comedy until I went to uni. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I was pretty focused on doing other things before I went to uni, and uni kind of helped me to tunnel my focus. Um, so I definitely feel like I went to uni for a reason. I made great friends. I had a great time. I made great experiences, and yeah, I discovered my love for comedy. So I feel like it was definitely worth it, 100%.
There's a lot of social media success or non-traditional success,
Mm-hmm.
being content creators, comedians, musicians.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that a lot of the young people do not want to go to university because they say all the successful people I know and follow either did not go to university or are not using their university degrees.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to people who think like that?
I think it depends on what you want to do. I'd say don't go to university for no reason, especially because I think society is making it harder for people to educate themselves, and I think they're doing that on purpose. They're making it more expensive. They're making it, they're making it a lot more difficult. So I think it really does just kind of depend on what you want to do and the avenue you kind of want to go down. If you think that you want to go down more of a creative route, then maybe social media and or starting your own business probably is the way forward. Um, but obviously, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be an accountant, then it's probably a lot easier for you to go into university. So I think it does depend. It depends on the person.
Yeah, because a lot of these young ones do not want to go to university. But
Yeah.
then on the other hand, I also know a lot of people who went to university and just left now with a lot of debt
Hmm.
for useless qualifications that they don't use.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think it just depends. Like whatever you want to study, just make sure if you're going to university, this is for a reason. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be because you want to study that one thing, but it needs to be for something that you're not going to regret because you just leave uni with debt, So it's not just
I would
something.
definitely go back again just for the social aspect of it. I enjoyed
Yeah.
uni.
Like, I think it's important for young people to get out of their house. Like it was definitely a big learning curve for me just in terms of my independence. So it's never I would never like I don't regret uni at all. It was one of the best things that I've done to be fair.
In
Hmm.
this session, we want to teach people, educate them on things not to say to Black people. So, things you should never say in a relationship with a Black person.
Anything to do with my hair. Anything to do with my hair. If you see a ponytail extension or a wig or a braid in something anywhere, don't ask me no questions. Just keep it pushing. Keep it moving. Yeah, mind your own hair. Worry about your hair. Don't worry about mine.
Things you should never say in a job interview when the interviewer is a black person.
Are you the only one? I feel that's quite an important question, to be honest. I think it's important to know.
Things you should never say to a pregnant black woman.
I just think you shouldn't say anything to a pregnant woman, regardless. I think, especially just anything regarding the how she's gonna give birth, what she's gonna do, uh, any. Don't touch her stomach. You know, don't worry about. Don't tell me all the difficulties that you faced in pregnancy. Don't tell me any nightmares. You know, I feel like there's so many things. Just leave pregnant women alone.
And
And
don't
leave.
ask me if I know the baby daddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. But I was like, nah, like we don't want to try to stay away from the stereotypes, you know. But yeah, do we know who the dad is? No, no, don't want to
But
do that.
I've heard people ask that question, and I'm like, really? Did you just?
It's ignorance, such ignorance.
Or when it's a black woman who's pregnant and they have a toddler, and you find some random person asking, is it the same dad?
So the cheek and the audacity of you, really, it's crazy.
Things you should never say at a black funeral.
Which one's the wife? I don't know. Which one's the girlfriend? There'll be four different people crying in the same way. Which one? Which one was the one that was married? Okay, let me know.
That is so funny. And there's always the wife and the girlfriend. I'm even
Yeah.
thinking in my own family funerals, how people get to find out that they are actually ghetto twins
Oh,
at the funeral, especially when it's the fathers. You're like, I have a sister who was born exactly the same year and I was born.
nightmare! Absolute nightmare. No, thank you. No, thank you.
One thing you should never say to a black customer.
Not I don't even know if it's saying like stop following people around the store, man. Stop following me. Stop looking at me. If I wanted to steal, I would do it efficiently, and you wouldn't catch me. So just leave me to shop in peace, so that I can pay for these things. Thank you, sir. I've had to report people before because like security guards would just be watching me as soon as I walk in, every aisle, and they're just eyeballing me, and I'm just like, sir. And I was in Superdrugs. What am I going to steal in Superdrugs that I can't buy? Everything in Superdrugs is like £5, £6. Leave me alone, sir. Leave me alone.
And what's a packet of painkillers compared to the diamonds that they stole?
Please. Honestly, you're not getting paid extra to stare at me this hard. So I just need you to back away. I need you to
Yeah,
back away.
I've heard sometimes I had to walk out of shops, especially when I'm going to be spending a lot of money and I just feel watched. I'm like, you don't deserve my money. I'll find it
Yeah,
somewhere else. And
absolutely.
especially now we have the internet. I'll just order online and
Yeah. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it at all.
yeah, they should stop following us. But then again, it's a good thing if you really plan to rob a shop or to shoplift, because you just walk in with your white friends, and while they're following you, all your white friends are doing all the stealing.
It's very smart. It's a very good tactic, actually. Very good
But
tactic.
that's what I should do. Just get me a few white shoplifters, go into the shop with them. They follow me. They shoplift. We go. We divide the stuff. Easy
Very
peasy.
smart. Very good business plan, actually.
Where can people follow you on social media?
So you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok mainly at it's Kyrah Gray. Feel free. I post my content on there. I'm getting more consistent. I promise. I am. I am. But yeah.
And you have some really funny. When you do skits, you should do more.
No, I am. I'm really bad with the consistency of it, just because I rarely have time to like actually think and try and think of something that's actually quite funny. But I am getting on it. I am. So I will be doing it very soon. So feel free to follow me. Thank you.
Choose one day of the month, think funny, record, and then just schedule it. Then you have content. Just put 2 a week.
I need to just have like a day every 2 weeks where I record like 4 videos and then I can just kind of post them when I need to. So that's what I
But
need
then
to do.
again, with what we do, we get tired as well.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I've
my
been hearing people say, if you want to have a productive day, you must be up by 6 a.m. I'm like, I'm home at 2 a.m. Why am I
honestly.
waking up at 6?
They don't
That's
factor that in though. The late nights, like I get home late most nights, and that's after like maybe driving 3 hours from my last show. You want me to wake up at 6 a.m. to do what? Absolutely not. I get up when I need to.
stupid. You get up at 8.
No, when I need to. I get up when I
Oh,
need.
I was going to say that's too early for me.
No, 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 not 8, not 8. It depends. It kind of
Yeah.
depends on.
When my body says get up, and also if I get up too early, say I got up at 8, I'm going to
Mhm.
have a long day because I still need the energy at 8 p.m. for the show.
Exactly.
So there's
Exactly.
no point in me getting up early like normal people because
Hmm.
we are fun employed.
Exactly.
So our time works differently from other people. The later I wake up, the more energy I still have in the evening for the show.
Very exactly. Exactly. So I don't listen to people telling me I need to wake up at 5. Please. I'm
Thank
not.
you so much, Kyrah. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you making time for us. I'm gonna put your social media links, guys. Please do follow Kyrah. She's not just a rising star. She's one of the best comedians in the UK. Because you're so young, it feels like you are a rising star, but you are already there.
No,
You are
thank you.
already doing a lot of things that people twice your age, people who started doing comedy the year we were born, have not achieved.
No, thank
And
you so.
I am so proud of you for that. And what I like about you as well is you do not only keep it professional, you are very respectful as well.
I try, man. Honestly, I feel like I feel like I've been quite lucky because the people around me have always been really just really kind and have always been willing to show me the ropes and kind of just guide me. So I'm just super grateful, man. So thank you for having me on the show. It's been my pleasure. It's been great. I feel like I've just been quite lucky where like I feel like I've always been surrounded by people that really believe in me and people are always willing to guide me and just tell me what to look out for. And I feel like I've been really lucky in that sense. So I'm really grateful for people like yourself as well who've just always been so supportive. So thank you. It's been really great.
And
Yeah,
the
no,
good thing is also you are funny. That's why people want to see you succeed because you are funny. Also, your comedy is not just for a certain age group. You appeal to all age groups. Because I remember the demographic we had in Cyprus, but
yeah.
you were able to make everyone laugh, and not everyone can do that.
No, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was a nice show. That was a really nice show. So I was really grateful for that show. That was really nice.
And thank you so much. I wish you nothing but the best and have a very happy Black History Month. May you make more money than any other month.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. You too. You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Please do not forget to subscribe, like the video, and share. And do leave us a comment. And also, please do follow Kyrah on all her social media platforms. You will not be disappointed. And I will leave her social media contacts on the comment section below or in the description box. Kulungile, bye. See you in the next video.